Hi guys, Assalamualaikum and welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you are new, my name is Arina, and if you are coming back, I hope you all are doing well. In today's video, I'll be reviewing two foundations from Focallure, which is the Staymax foundation in a tube and also the covermax foundation in a glass bottle. So this is what the foundation looks like on my face. Can you guess which one is on which side? So I also did a flashback test and also a wear test up to 6 hours. So if you want to know what my thoughts on them, keep on watching. Okay guys, let's read the claims before we jump into the foundation application. So first off, this is what the covermax foundation comes in. It comes in a box like this, and also the packaging is a glass bottle which says full coverage matte foundation. I have it in the shade honey 08. This foundation does comes in 20 shades, which is incredible for a very affordable foundation. Let's read the claims from the box. It says a little goes a long way with a natural matte finish. It's perfect for normal, combination and oily skin types. The long-lasting formula offers such seamless full coverage that it blurs the visibility of lines and imperfection. And on the website, it does want you don't wear this foundation with a silicone based primer because this is a water based, and it is suggested to use it with a water-based primer. This foundation claims to have a natural matte finish, it's long wearing, and it blurs imperfection and also evens out skin tone. And the next foundation that we are going to compare with is this one, which is Focallure Staymax Long Wear High Coverage Foundation. I have mine in the shade 05 Latte, and this foundation does comes in a tube like this, so it's very travel friendly compared to this one. This one feels a lot more lightweight than this one. And just to compare the amount of it, in this tube contains 20 grams of product, whereas glass bottle contains 40 grams of product, which doubles the amount of the Staymax foundation. And I'm going to read the claim of this foundation at the back of the box. It says Staymax Ultra Matte Foundation is a comfortable 24-hour full coverage foundation which brings a natural matte finish. It controls oil and shine, and it is also waterproof. The long-lasting formula keeps color stay true all day and won't oxidize. So this foundation comes in 8 shades. It claims to have a full coverage foundation, a natural matte finish. It controls oil and shine. Both of these foundation has the same claim. It says that it is suitable for oily skin, combination skin and normal skin. For those who have dry skin, they suggest to use oil, like to mix it with the foundation, because both of these foundation does have a matte finish. I am going to start off with foundation application. For primer today, I am going to use this one from the drugstore. It's Catrice Glow Booster Serum 10% Vitamin Complex. This is a water-based primer. I've checked the ingredients and there's no silicone ingredients in here. Hopefully I read it right. I did a review on this primer, a mini review. If you want to watch it, you can click up here. It's like a drugstore first impression review. So I'm going to apply it on both sides. Since both foundation claims to blur pores and also imperfection, we're gonna see if it is true to what it claims. Okay, I just want to let you guys know that I have a combination skin, oily T-zone and dry outer perimeters, and I have large pores mainly on the center of my face, especially on my nose, and currently I have equivalent of breakouts on both sides of my cheeks. I have 2 active pimples here, because it is the time of the month and I consume a lot of dairy this week, and also I've tested a new foundation yesterday. Maybe it's a combination of everything that caused me to break out. In terms of application, I am going to apply both of the foundation using a flat kabuki brush. This one right here, this is DBH Cosmetics number 123, and this one Morphe Wife 6. Both have flat surface and it is a dense foundation brush. And then if I want to add more coverage, I am going to use a damp sponge, because I feel like sponge will soak up a bit of coverage and I won't end up having cakey foundation if I want to layer them on. On my right side, I'm going to use the covermax full coverage matte foundation, the glass bottle one, and it does comes with a pump. As usual, I'm going to use one pump and then spread it out with my finger before blending it out with my brush. I think one pump is a lot. Maybe I should have pumped lesser than. On this side, I'm going to use the BH Cosmetics brush and blend this foundation. Okay, this is what the foundation looks on my skin. So for first impression, I like the finish. It is not too matte or flat. It still has that luminosity when the light hits the high points of my face. And on the pore, I do feel that it doesn't sit well, especially on my nose, and that is usually the case with most of foundations I've tried, unless I use a very good pore filling primer. But this foundation does says that you can't use it with a silicone based primer, because silicone based primer usually helps to fill in the pores and blur it out. So I didn't use any silicone primer for today's review. And then let's move on to the next foundation, which is the Staymax foundation that comes in a tube. I'm going to apply it with a kabuki brush from Morphe. It is Morphe Y6. Okay, it comes sealed with this like a foiled sticker. The same thing, I'm gonna squeeze out some amount onto my finger. Maybe that's a lot, so I'm gonna spread it out first. Okay, this is how the foundation looks like after I applied it. Right off the bat, I feel like this foundation has a more thicker consistency, whereas the CoverMax foundation feels a bit more liquidy and emollient. This one gives me a tad bit more coverage compared to the CoverMax foundation, which is this side, and I feel like I don't really need to build up coverage because I'm happy with what is looking right now. In terms of a fragrance, this one, even though it claims to have fragrance or perfume at the very bottom of the ingredients list, I don't smell any significant scent from it, whereas this one also contains perfume. The scent of it is a bit stronger compared to this one, but I feel like in few minutes or after you done your makeup, the smell will go away. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in. If you are gross with texture, pores and pimple, please skip. I will insert a time where you can skip this part. Zoom you guys in. Hopefully you can see this side like doesn't sit well with the primer that I use. Like it doesn't blend well this with the primer. So you can see that some areas the foundation clumps almost every area, but from afar it's not very visible. And on this side, I like it a lot compared to this side because it does smoothens out my skin. It does smooth out my pores a bit, and it sits well on the nose area, whereas this one does picked up the foundation and doesn't sit well with the primer, and also doesn't cover my pores. This one does a good job at covering the pores and also skin texture. Both foundation does a good job at even out my skin tone. And yeah, I'm gonna dab on top with a damp sponge with no product on it and see if it helped to fix the situation we have here. Oddly, it makes it more matte. This is a damp sponge and supposedly it adds moisture to the foundation, but I feel like it soaks up some moisture from the foundation instead. Yeah, it just takes away the shine, and I feel like dabbing it with a damp sponge does help to fix the situation that we had before, which is clumping on certain areas. And on the nose also, it does help to fix that, like doesn't look as patchy as before. I'm also going to use the same sponge and dab it on this side and see if it perfected this foundation. Yeah, I feel like with the sponge it does help to push the foundation and melt it onto the skin better. Definitely do that if you experience the same situation as I did. And now let's apply concealer. I am going to use Pink Flash Breathable Concealer in the shade 03. I'm going to blend this concealer using my damp sponge. So So far the concealer meshed well with both of the foundations, and then right now I'm gonna continue finish up my face makeup, apply powder, bronzer, highlight, blusher and all that jazz, and I'll be right back to show you guys the final look and also do a flash test and a wear test. I'm going to use all the products that I know work for me no matter what foundation I used on that day, so that I know what is wrong. Now my makeup is basically finished. I'm gonna set it with Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. While waiting for that to dry, I'm gonna share with you guys what is the time now. It is currently 4:54 p.m. Yes, I start really late. I will try to wear this until around 11 p.m. and I will update you guys on how it holds up. So this is how it looks. The setting spray is still drying down, so far this is what they look like after I apply all the powder products on top. Looks like everything looks okay. Any foundation can't cover my texture, like the raised bump that I have, the raised skin. It can't flatten that. I don't really focus on that. I think most foundation will wear off on the areas where I have blemishes, like these active pimples over here, and we'll see about that, and I will update you guys in another few hours and we'll see how this foundation wears. Okay, I switch off the artificial lights, and what you see now is me in front of natural lighting, and this is how the foundation is looking in natural lighting. And now I'm gonna do a flash test. So from the flash test, I do have flashback mini on the center, but I did swatch it at the back of my hand and see which product gives me the flashback, and it's actually from the powder I used, which is the Milani translucent powder, because as you can see, none of the concealer or the foundations give me any flashback. I did took it from other angles, so you'll guys see that the powder is mainly the cost of the flashback. Hi guys, I think I want to take off this makeup already, and now it's 10:09 p.m. I think I finished my makeup around 3:45, so it's been around 6+ hours. It holds my oil at bay quite well compared to the powder foundation I've tried yesterday. Even though it looks oily on the camera, it's most probably because of the harsh lighting I have, but in person it doesn't look as oily as what I see in the monitor. And I feel like this part here, which is the Staymax foundation in the tube, doesn't look as oily as this one right here. I think you can see the makeup doesn't break up anywhere, even though I looked oily, especially on this part here. I mean, like, it looked a bit patchy on this side, but it's probably because I did lay down on the pillow, and that is the reason why this one does wear off. And on this side, on top of my blemish here, it does look just like earlier when I applied on. It doesn't break up on that part where I have some dry patches there, and it looked just nice in my opinion. Given that I've been wearing this for 6+ hours, it holds quite well. I don't have anything bad to say. If you don't like to look shiny like this, you can just blot the oil using a tissue paper and just leave it like that. Maybe I'll just take my sponge here and I can just blot the oil, take away some shine on my face. Yeah, it looked decent now. So for me, because I have combination skin, I'm oily on my T-zone, I prefer the Staymax foundation in a tube because it sits well on my pore area and it doesn't look as oily as the covermax foundation. If you have dry skin, I think you can wear this foundation with a combination of hydrating primer underneath. It starts to get oily around the 5th hour, and if I were to compare it with the powder foundation I've tried yesterday, that powder foundation gets oily at the 3-hour mark. I already see the oil peek through, but for these two foundation around the 3-hour mark, my face still looked matte or looked just like I freshly applied my foundation. I only see oil seep through this foundation around the 5th hour mark, which is great for a very affordable foundation. And to be honest, I looked a little bit cakey because I feel like I did put too much, because normally I only use 1 pump for my entire face, or maybe 1.5 pump, and today I did use 1 pump on each side, so meaning that I used 2 pumps on my face. So maybe that's the reason why it looked cakey. If anything, I'll update you guys in the description box if I wear this foundation in future. I think that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and please let me know if you have tried any of this foundation, and if any of this foundation is your favorite, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I appreciate if you can subscribe. I do a lot of makeup tutorial, makeup review, and makeup hauls. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope I see you guys in my next one. Bye. Assalamualaikum.